Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie, and I will be your guide for today. Today, I'm going to do some tarot and channeling, and we're going to tune into the energies of 3iAtlas. This is, I don't want to put on to anybody what Atlas is. Now, I have my own ideas, but just the fact that there's something that is present to humanity's consciousness at the moment that is asking us to awaken ourselves out of a confined space, and even maybe slightly thinking that it could be alien, that it could be something way beyond what we have been allowing into our consciousness before. So that's why I'm tapping into this energy, because I believe that whenever something comes towards us, and if it's coming towards us as a collective, there is a reason, there is a strong reason, and it's always coming from within us. And so we need to address, or we don't need to do anything, but to observe it is to at least, or reflect on it is to actually get more wisdom. That's all. Hey Arne, and hey All Is One, good to see you there in the chat bar. Hi Healing, good to see you. Okay, so yeah, I do want to pull out some cards. I did just put up the Dismantling the Fear video on my other channel, which is Close to a New Reality, if you want to go check that out. I have a belated Halloweenish witch telepathic games coming to AMAKEL soon. I've just about finished them. But just more fun with the telepathy. And yeah, so that's happening. And I also have a really big interview coming up, which I did with Breaking the Silence, Steve Neal, and he interviewed me, so that will be coming up in the next few weeks. In any case, let's get into this. Hey Wade, hey Sky, hey Yannicka, good to see you guys. Okay, I want to tune into this and really find what's going on with humanity's consciousness, and why is this turning up in the now? You know what they're bringing me to? I had this very, very, very powerful dream years ago. And the dream was, I knew it was a prediction for the whole of humanity. I looked outside and I saw these tubes of black void coming and hitting Earth and taking out anything that wasn't resonating with love. And this is in 2012, so way before I knew anything of what I know now. And the only way to really kind of avoid or step out of the frequency of being taken out would be to resonate with love. And that would mean that we had to find stillness of mind. So I was going on the radios and I was getting myself out there in this dream to try to teach people how to still their mind. And I think this is relevant to Atlas 3i, because it's like a reflection of our progression. And with our progression, we are invoking more love into our reality. And when humanity's consciousness is asking to be more present in that love vibration, it is sent to us. And then we have to navigate the fact that love exceeds the limitations of the logical mind, because now we have to open ourselves up to the feminine intuitive mind and all of the gifts that come with that, and the wounding with both sides, the feminine side and the masculine side. And so there's a lot of that going on. They're saying to me, stay away from those who create drama. Just don't even try to heal them. The best thing you can do now is to let them see themselves in the mirror of these new vibrations that are pulling towards us. It's also opening us up to when we open up to that feminine side of ourselves, we open up to the fact that our soul is connected to other beings. Our soul knows other frequency beings because it knows of our past lives and so forth, and where we've come from before this. Even if we were a human over and over and over again, at one stage or another, we were in Lemuria, Atlantis. Our soul is integrated into the wholeness of everything, and as source energy, it is part of that, and it is that, and source energy. Source energy is that, and the soul is source energy, is both. So this expansion that happens when we start to love that side of ourselves that we've been repressing, and humanity has been repressing the imaginative, the intuitive side for many generations. This is why we have a lot of autistic children being born, and that they are literally showing humanity a new way, a different way of observing, of looking, of working with the physical world through the eyes of the feeling base, going inwards, and connection to things that are known beyond what logic can even comprehend. And then we are confronted, those that are very logically based, confronted with children that are savant autistic and know how to play the piano, and no one's taught them, know how to draw things through memory, and no one's taught them, because they are the observer of things, and they see beyond the logical knowledge, and they see into wisdom. They're showing me the two trees, the tree of knowledge and the tree of wisdom, and it's intertangled. It is of the same. They're actually showing me them standing side by side and then flipping upside down, and becoming the roots, becoming the tree, becoming the roots. It's very interesting. And then they're showing me the brain. So all of that's it's just a unification. So obviously, when we start to move into more of those realms, we are going to see things outside of us that are not going to make sense to the so-called logical science of things. And therefore, Atlas 3i is now being, surrounding humanity's consciousness, and kind of like, is it a comet? Is it a meteor? What is it? Is it a alien craft? What is it? And the questions that humanity starts to ask now, what is it? Is the profoundness of the awakening. That is what awakens us, because when we are curious, we move our attention down out of the limitation and into an expansive story that will take us somewhere else. But we have to do this from a place of, I'm not holding on to my logic anymore because it's not making sense. This is why a lot of the world, Earth itself, is very mixed up at the moment. Okay, enough channeling. Let's get into the cards as well. I always say this, I don't need the cards, but I do. I think it's fun. So we'll see what the cards have to say too. Good to see you guys in the chat bar. I agree, seeing how we can untangle with other energy, it's best to stay in our own lane. Yes. Hey, Zen, good to see you. And Wade. And quantum entanglement, yeah. It's how we are processing life that is changing. And because we are changing how we are processing life, we are seeing beyond the limitations that held us stuck. And there was many that were born that could see past those limitations, but the majority of humanity's consciousness closed in on them and said, no, you're not to do that. And then they were seen as fools. They felt like they were fools for even speaking up about the truth, that there was other ways of perceiving life. So then you could look at Atlas 3i and you could just see a meteorite, or you could look at it and you could see more, or you could feel into it and feel more. I mean, if I can tell you, I'll tell you by the end of it what I know, what I feel I know. This is from my knowing, though. My knowing is a different story to your story. And there is no wrong or right story, because it's just, there's so many truths when you come from a different concept of who you are. And even for myself to look back at 5 years ago, when I look back, those truths are not exactly the truth for me in the now, because I learned from them. I become an observer of those lessons, and then as the observer of it all, I saw that there's new truths that are showing up, and it is showing a much more expansive awareness. So those truths were truths just for me as a stepping stone to move into the expansion, but not necessarily the truth for me now, because I see beyond it. It's like if you were held in that, logical mainframe of what school taught you, and then you found out through feeling and working with spirit that there's way more, because the synchronicities and the premonition dreams and visions and all sorts happen. You can't then say to yourself that the truth is what you were taught at school. It has to go beyond. But during the school, the only concept of reality for you was to fit in with your peers. And that was needed at the time. So the truth needed to be small, because that's where your peers, your friends were, and your school teachers were. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm not judging anybody's journey. I'm not judging anybody's how they're moving through their life, and I never ever will. It is all accepted in my reality as a part of the journey that the person or the soul is going through. And so I cannot judge it, because I've been there. I've been in the limited concept. I've been in the place where I didn't understand it all. And just because I have a little bit more awareness, and I know that from myself, I can share that with someone. I can share the experience. I can even share the vibration when I'm actually in there next to them, like actually with them. I've put my forehead on the forehead of a friend of mine and just stilled their mind, and they felt that stillness, and they didn't move for 30 minutes. They couldn't move because they said it felt so beautiful. They didn't want to disrupt it. They've never felt that. And they were doing trips of DMT and ayahuasca and all sorts of things to try to find that space. So I can share it, but it's not until you actually experience it that you have the compass to go to it. And I have a feeling that's the pull that I have now to get out there more into society and do what I just do, because of the wisdom that I hold to enlighten and help other people as well. And I believe that there's a lot of us that are doing this work. It's not just me. There's a lot of us that have been feeling this pull from their soul that they need to do something now. It's time. It is time. And that's one of the 3 words that keeps coming up. It's time. Okay, I haven't even pulled a card. I just keep going, right? But it's interesting. It's interesting information. I'm just going to take my beautiful... No, it's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to take that bracelet off. It's just annoying me a little bit while I shuffle. Level of awareness, getting out of the karmic loop you receive now. The wisdom. Yeah. Okay. Cards. Please give us a story. What's happening with Atlas 3i? Give us something that you can share with us as to why humanity has this awareness in their, this story coming up in their awareness. Can you give us any sort of messages, please? Okay, we have one that's flipped over. I will take it. We have the Knight of Wands. Movement. Our consciousness, humanity's consciousness, is now moving forward, and each and every one of us individually is going to find a space on this earth that we start to realize, this is what I came here for. It's not to be small. The fear also, I'm seeing within this Knight, he has no fear. He's knowing how to protect himself with a badge of honor. He realizes now how valuable it is to protect himself as he goes on this journey. that he won't allow the dramas and so forth to come in and to disrupt him anymore. He's not out there to heal the world either, because the healing will always come from within. It's just to share experiences and share vibrations, and then ask others or share the wisdom of how to shed their thoughts and crazy thoughts and monkey minds and all of that, to be able to come into that realization of that vibration on me. Because then we all come together with a little piece of the puzzle that creates better communities and understanding. So yeah, Atlas 3i is not just, it's also awakening through its own vibration as well. So as this action is taking part, going on a elliptical, I don't even know if that's a word, a loop around Earth and the Sun, it is sharing with us its own vibration. And you could see it as however you want to see it, an alien craft ship or just a meteorite. It doesn't make any difference. It still emanates a certain frequency. And that's why we have things like Moldavite and that, where, some people can wear Moldavite and some people cannot, because they're either in a higher frequency or not, to be able to handle that understanding of that frequency. They're showing me now walking into a cave where there's a lot of selenite, and they've found, caves in, I think it's in Mexico, where they found these caves of selenite. Brazil, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, you can only stay there for 10 minutes because it will do your mind in, because you're not meeting the same vibration as those crystals. That's what they're showing me. And so I suppose it goes full circle to the beginning when I was channeling the dream that I had of these black tubes coming to Earth. And then, funny thing about that dream too, when I actually woke up, I went online, and one of the first things that scrolled up on my Facebook was a remote viewing that was written about in USA, and it was actually the governments were doing this remote viewing thing, and this was one of the documents of somebody who was tuning into the future, and it was literally saying that they saw Earth like a big pie and big fingers coming down and taking out parts of Earth. So this is the dismantling of the program. It's naturally going to happen because we are dismantling it within our psyche. We're dismantling it within our minds, and we're no longer giving it as much attention as what we were before, because we're seeing through the light that we can find our stability and our self-worth and even abundance coming to us in a different way than what we are asking for the outside of us to tell us who we are. We are finding it from within us. So we have the Eight of Swords next. So to do with Atlas, the blindfold that's over humanity's consciousness, keeping us in this fear-based program. That's another thing that it is also sending out new vibrations of shedding, asking certain people to take the blindfold off. Because if she takes the blindfold off, she sees the sword, she sees all the fears, she sees all that she held within us, in her, to keep us small. But she can also walk through the it's not completely keeping her there. It's just a fear that she has in her that is keeping her there. So that's something that's been shed by Atlas as well. So this is the vibration that it's bringing to humanity at the moment. Okay. Let's keep going. We have Nine of Wands. Look at all this. Work ethics. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. Now, I'm going to bring up the story that I have, because I have in my head that Atlas is to do with the Anunnaki. Now, the Anunnaki many years ago came to humanity to help us navigate the physical world because we had severed ourselves through guilt from our intuitive feminine side, and we no longer had the ability to be telepathic. So we disconnected from Earth and its utopic way of meeting vibrations through Earth, and so we had to be taught how to farm, and they came to help us with that, and how to speak with language, with babble instead of telepathy. So because that's what I feel into, and I feel like the vibration that they are sending is like, because now they come full circle and they've seen that humanity now wants to reignite to their feminine side, that their story can also learn from our story. And the burdens that they held within the structure of society and the burdens that was held, the force of humanity feeling like it had to work, and then it just went deeper and deeper. It wasn't just work anymore. It was like survival, and all of that's been dismantled. It's too much for us to carry. Like, we've got the Nine of Wands. This is too much for us to carry. We're seeing now that it's not working for us anymore. And I think that they are realizing. Sorry, I'm just feeling under their vibration a bit as I go along. There's a couple of things that are coming in my head from them. It's like they're saying stalemate. We need to withdraw our energy to allow you to grow into the unknown quantity that they don't even completely are aware. It's like the logical mind trying to understand the feminine mind. It doesn't completely aware. It's not going to be completely aware of what magic can be brought forward and the power of that. But they're also, it's like as they go past, they're unthreading themselves. Okay, we'll go with that. They're unthreading themselves from the energy. They're showing me somebody who I had an entanglement that was quite nasty. And then I'll sit on the bed and I'll imagine them at the base of my bed, and then I'll bring back all of my energy that I gave to them because I was seeking love in them or something, and they just gave me a slap round the face. So I need to return that love back to me and give it to me, because so I'm seeing that like it's withdrawing. They're withdrawing their energy a bit as they go along, but it's also sparking consciousness within them, and they're showing me new colors coming. I'm trying to get the gist of this. It's really interesting. Jeannie, what can we do to ease our experience through this? That's a good idea. Yeah, we will ask that question. What can we do to ease our experience through this? Well, it's going to be the ability that you have to control where your energy goes is a big one. And your mind and your thoughts go. The more that you can detangle quicker, like they are, like detangle quicker from an experience that made you feel small or made you feel awful. The quicker that you can do that, the more that you will give yourself power to move forward into grounding the jobs and the experiences that you want. You won't have the fear that you had before. Because, sorry, she's eating out of her bowl. You won't have the experiences that you have before, because you will move through this without the fear, because you know how to navigate your mind, not to attach to through the guilt. And usually someone will throw guilt on you if they are trying to take you down. So you have to be able to remove your guilt from these distortednesses that are around you. In other words, I can't help you I know how to help you, but you're not going to help yourself. So I need to withdraw my energy and I need to focus on what I need to do, whether that is just coming into complete harmony for myself. The quicker that you can do this, the easier all of this is going to have happen for you, because you'll move forward with your businesses and grounding what you really need to ground, be all your experiences of being more in a happy space. And it will shift everything as well. So yeah, there's definitely lessons happening here with these new things coming into our reality. You would expect so, because as you move into a higher realm, new things come into our reality, and then we have to face off with the confusion that the logical mind has about it, and then the fear around that, why we didn't see it like that before, because we've had other meteors around us, around Earth herself, and we just assumed and trusted the scientists, and the scientists assumed that it was all natural. And whenever they looked at that meteor, it was always doing the right thing. Now that we've expanded our reality, when they look at the same meteor, they will see when it does something weird. See what I'm saying? It's like you could have a perception of somebody outside of you that is a magical person. They're bringing me to the Wonder Emporium movie, where the tax man went into the shop that was all magical, but wherever he looked, he only saw nothing. He just saw the normal limitations that he could accept. See, so this is the expansion. So we've had other meteorites coming and gifting us new energies and that sort of thing. Still happened that way. Still happened that we had new energies, but every time the scientists looked at them, they would only be looking at them when they were doing the normal thing that they could handle in their brain. See, this is why now we're looking at things when they're doing the magical things, because we are awakening our feminine side of ourselves. So this is an awakening just in itself. Okay. I was surprised how fast I was able to release a full-on panic attack. Yeah, we're going to be. I've had the same thing. I've had like something that I really had to adjust to, but it also gave me a feeling when this attack happened. After it happened, I was like, well, I might as well just be free and do what I want to do. I might as well just go forth and, go out to the world and meet all these beautiful people, because I'm a hermit now. I'm staying small and I'm still meeting this trouble. I'm still having to deal with this trouble. So if I'm doing, the smallest I can be and still having trouble, then I might as well go out and be the brightest I can be, because if the trouble comes, I can handle it anyway, because I handled it now. See what I'm saying? It's like clearing us with this. Okay, there was one that came out, 6 of Cups. Good to see. We're expanding our family, they're saying. With Atlas 3i, we're learning to expand our family. This is coming into, wow, we have so much to learn from each other. So much to learn. And when we don't face it with fear, when we see ourselves as source through the eyes of source energy, just as powerful as anything that approaches us, that we can shift the story if necessary, shift ourselves out of the vibration if necessary. At any given moment, we are free. We have freed ourselves. It's kind of like being a bird in a cage and then knowing how to pick the lock. It could still stay in that cage if it wanted to and get fed or whatever it wanted to do, but it could also release itself. And just the wisdom of the knowing that it can release itself means that it feels free while it's still in the cage. So we're stepping into more freedom, but definitely a family vibration, because they are the father. they are the one that understood our logical mind. They helped our logical mind become more in the physical, and they helped us navigate a physical world. They gave us that masculine energy to be able to live on earth in a masculine way. Yes, we were disconnected from our feminine energy, but they gave us all of that. So they are part of our family. In the history of humanity, there was 4 beings that came to me when I asked for the truth of the history. And that was the Pleiadians, the Anunnaki, the Draconians, and the Lyrans. And I know that there's more, but that they were the main 4 that wanted to tell their story. So yeah, we're expanding our family as they come through. Now, if you just want to see it as a meteorite, like I said at the beginning, then it will still be igniting you into asking yourself, why is it moving in a weird way? Why are the scientists picking up that it's moving in a weird way? There's still an expansion there. Okay. So, okay, yeah, they keep bringing through these messages even without the cards. They're showing me dreams that I've had. Dreams of being in the sea full of, and there was all these mushrooms, and I think it was to do with the DMT within oneself and being able to ride through the DMT experiences that we're going to awaken to. So we are literally bringing or grounding or bringing through new frequencies that are going to gift us these weird and wonderful hallucinate sort of experiences. The hallucinate experiences, though, maybe seeing things outside the norm, were always, they were just as real as this reality, but we didn't know how to handle them, and there was fear around it. And so it became, it's like if you go on an ayahuasca trip, if you go into it with fear, then you are definitely going to meet up with the worst gremlins and so forth. If you go into it with enlightenment, then you will seek the wisdom beyond the barriers of those that are seemingly monsters. Because nothing is a monster when it comes through the eyes of source energy, nothing. And if it's in your experience, you have the ability to match the power. They're showing me a mouse hiding from a lion, and the lion is really hungry, but the mouse's will is stronger than the lion just wanting to have a snack. And so the mouse will find a way out, and whether he finds a hole or whatever, earth will supply him with the way out. So we could see these beings as something to fear, or we could see ourselves as the same strength within us. But we cannot shift a story outside of us, from within us, outside of us. If we think we're just a physical body, we can't shift anything. We're stuck in the physical realm of the logical mind saying everything's only physical, so we have to go through an actual physical story to shift something. When you get to the understanding that you are spirit as well, that you are source energy as well, and you meet at that vibration of the intuition and feminine side of ourselves, the soul side of ourselves, then you know damn well that if you don't want a story, you just don't give it focus, and you imagine a whole brand new story, and you wait for it to be grounded, you know. So how's the story going to turn up in the end? Is it going to be a push-pull sort of a story, or is it going to be an enlightenment of oneself? Yeah, we're going to see more than that. This is just the beginning. Yeah, Atlas 3i is just the beginning. We have the Five of Wands and the Four of Swords come out. Here's the push-pull that we have. And this is like turning ourselves on our heads while we're going within. I think it's also a feeling of looking at how are we actually interacting with these new weird things that are happening all across Earth. Like, there has been such a confusion of the breakdown of the system, the breakdown of everything. It's like AI, what's the truth? What's not the truth? And, do we trust these people that are telling us that they are our leaders, even though they hold all the wealth and they could have helped thousands of millions of homeless people at the drop of a hat? How can we? Well, I think there's this energy that's just shifting us into understanding. It's so confusing now that the expansion has to happen. And it has to happen from within us. I'm kind of just, hang on. I'm going to get another deck because I'm feeling a little dizzy. I'll get another deck and we'll see what else wants to come through. I do feel there's something really. I'll get these ones actually. Right. Let's get back into it. 3:33 p.m. Oh, you're in Arizona. I was just thinking, I wonder where you were coming from, Wade. So that's interesting that you put that there. Arizona. Okay. Come on. I don't know. I've got this kind of a feeling of, come on, let's just do it. Let's just go crazy and be ourselves. Let's just not care about what anyone else thinks anymore. Let's just push through any of that stupid ass fear, which was just nothing anyway. I don't know, I just have this real feeling about me at the moment of let's just do it. Okay, energies of Atlas 3i or 3iAtlas. Coming together, the coming together of an individual from an individual way. They're showing me 3 and they're showing me I, but they're also saying it's like an individualness of coming together for some reason with those numbers in that letter. The cards are really slow. I don't feel like the beings on Atlas or Atlas itself likes tarot. That's what I'm feeling. Weird, eh? But we're using them anyway. So, okay. So it's fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Like this is the literal jumping off the proverbial cliff into an unknown place that will carry you in the end. We've just got to, these energies at the moment that are expanding are asking us to be really uniquely who you are. And if you're branded with dyslexia, autism, ADHD, whatever, you're branded, the logical mind loves to separate everything and brand it. Turn it around and see the gifts that you're giving humanity, because you're here as you are, and the authentic truth of who you are, how amazing you are as an authentic personality. And I think this is really needing to come forth now. And because we're going to see a lot more crazy things than 3iAtlas. And I've been saying this for a few years as I've been channeling. I've been saying that we're going to have contact. We're going to have this. It's going to happen. It's a quickening that we're going through. So it's going to happen. We're going to have contact. We're going to have many, many, many more stories coming out of people with really crazy ass experiences that go beyond logic. And that's the expansion of us going into these different frequencies, and some of these frequencies are held on these meteorites that are coming through, or what you want to call meteorites, which are actually spacecraft showing up as meteorites. They have ways of projecting themselves and ways of projecting things, and that can teach us many things as well. They're not just on the physical. The crate serving Mars energy, anger, conflict, and now Mars softening to love. This card here, this is what I feel Atlas is like. Like, I feel they are very masculine. This is Mars energy, masculine energy. And but the masculine is now needing to, when we come into expansion of the feminine side, the masculine's then not being held down by its own limitations of trying to control everything outside of itself, which has worn itself out and exhausted itself with the stress of trying to hold it all together. It's now opening itself up to all this, and the opening allows for us to see these meteorites as the truth of what they are, which, you know, can be beings living on them. So even the logical mind is going to have to let go enough for new stories to come in, for it to expand. And so it has to soften itself. The masculine needs to know how to find its power within the softness of itself. That goes for men in general, or masculine people in general, and that goes for the masculine within yourself. The logical side of yourself needs to soften itself in order to know that it is powerful within that softening. It's only when we release that we expand. And so if we're all like, I am in control and I am stressed, and then you get exhausted, and then you wonder why you're exhausted, all of that is just pulling you into, illnesses. Because if you hold a muscle strong enough, or a thought strong enough, which holds a muscle strong enough, in that for too long, it will become sick, because it needs to release. And so we are at they're showing me that those on Atlas 3i are also helping us release. They're releasing the ties to us. And so we are now able to release our ties to the program that they taught humanity many years ago. And that's coming from the fact that I feel that they are Anunnaki, because I had a visit from the Anunnaki. And when they came, they pretended to be a meteorite. They literally showed up as that, and it was photographed by the paper, and it was in the media the next day as a meteorite. But I saw it as a rectangle ship hovering above me that was huge, and that was the same time as the Anunnaki appeared in my room and the UFO appeared outside my window. So all of that for me. And also I did a meditation, and I drew this beautiful picture, which I have shown you guys, but I'll bring it up again for those that haven't seen it, because it is here on my phone. So, and I was showing, try to get it without the light. I was showing the ship as a rectangle, and then those dots in the middle were the meteorites. They were pretending to be meteorites as they came down, and they were showing me that Atlas is the dark one down the bottom, now merging with us. But we have to find this balance within us. There's so much more going on here than meets the so-called eye. That was drawn on the 13th of October 2013. And it was at the same time as Comet Ison connection was coming around as well. So there's all these comets and meteorites and stuff that were happening that were actually just not just that. There was more to them. But they needed to get close to humanity, they're telling me. They needed to get, their vibration needed to get close enough to humanity to be seen, but they couldn't disrupt our awakening until we were ready. And so we are now ready to see that there's something squiff with them, where before they really hit it wow, like they just stayed the comet or whatever, or it showed up to people that needed to see it, like myself. So I really feel that these so-called meteorites and comets and stuff are actually way more than that. It's not all of them, but some of them are. And that's how they've come close to humanity's frequency, because they wanted to literally skim our atmosphere to be able to shed more awakening onto us, to remember the past for the truth of what it really is. And the path of the truth of what it really is way more than the story that we were told at school and so forth. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I just got so in depth into it, I could speak about it for even longer. But we'll fold up there, and we will open the chat bar for any free readings. Those that want to have, something and information for them in the now moments while we have Atlas 3i around us. What kind of help can it give them, and that sort of thing. So I will open up the chat bar for free readings anyway, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so all is one. Let's start off with you. Three of Pentacles on its head fell out for you, all is one. I feel unifications coming in, like literally your name is standing out to me. And when it was standing out, I was getting that whole collectiveness of understanding yourself as everything outside of yourself. Now, you've already been following, obviously, that journey. You wouldn't have had a name like all is one unless you understood this at a place where, but it's grounding it because it's on its head. And that means you're going to have more faith and trust in yourself and choosing the people that you want around you in this next phase. They're also showing me a collective that's coming together for you. So you will meet people that are more in the right frequency. You decide. You've taken the reins, and you know that you have to decide upon this, who you're going to allow in and who you're not. And that's going to be enough for you to create a community as well. The next stage, the fear's dissolved. The flowers are blooming. Like, they literally have flowers. This person's a creator, by the way, and then these people are observing the creator. The creator, and it's all right. You can create whatever you friggin' will like. It could be the best, beautifulest thing, but if you don't have someone to share it with, it's not really going to give you the satisfaction as what you do if you did allow to trust people wholly again. They're bringing me to 101 B105. I sung a song of mine on TV in Brisbane and won this huge competition back in 2000. And they ended up putting me up in the Marriott Hotel and limoed around and everything, but I had to do it on my own. And I remember having like the spa jutted out from the hotel. It was the most beautiful. I was put in the most beautiful places. Just wasn't the prize was, yeah, okay, I'm here, but I could be in my own bedroom. It wouldn't make, I need to share this. There's a sharing that's needed to happen for you in this next phase, I feel. Okay, we'll leave that with you. All is one. Jeannie, we have Strength card coming up. So you might be facing something that has given you, you did say something about that too. Facing something that is giving you a little bit of a icky moment. It's actually asking you to step into more of your authentic self and just go, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to be me. Like, more of your authentic self. I've just gone through the same thing, so I totally understand where you're coming from. And I've seen the Strength card in my head a lot lately. So yeah, I feel like she's trying to lick nothing out of her bowl, as if I haven't fed her this morning. Anyways, I'll feed her a bit when I get off this. So yeah, I'm feeling like you are going to it's all happening for a purpose, and it's meant to have happened this way, even though it's difficult terrain sometimes that you do feel like you need to have a lot of strength. But self-love more, and you'll move into the next phase. You are better than what you've been. Like, it's almost like the past, you've been treated a bit crappy in some ways, and you allowed it to infiltrate your energy. They're asking you not to let it infiltrate your energy. See a way out of that. Yeah. Hey. Okay, so now we've got Zen Debbie. Zen Debbie, you have the Six of Swords in reverse. Is there something, maybe you've been asked to like move on from something and you're just holding on to the shore a little bit too long, or not sure if you've got you're right in the right place, the right mind, the right time, the right people, the right circumstances, all of that for it to happen. There's a journey here for you to go on. And that's saying the word patience, and then they're saying, but you're the one creating it. So I'm going to go with that. There's something here that wants to push you off the shore, like make the noise that you need to make to push off the shore, to take the journey. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. The Six of Swords, believe it or not, is actually a good card for journeys. It's like you've got your mind all tucked away, and you know how to handle it. You've got those two, the two thoughts that you need to move forward with, and you've got the rest sitting in the back if you need them later. Yeah. I'll leave it at that though. Who else have we got? I'm not sure if I did. That was, healing. I think we're up to healing. Oh gosh, I keep forgetting where I'm at. Healing. This one just wanted to come out. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. Bigger decisions to be made. Bigger decisions. Decisions that you would have shied away from in the past, maybe now coming up for you as you move along. And now you're like, okay, I'm ready to take that chance. I'm ready to take that, go into that feeling, do that. I'm ready to take it forward now. Like this person, it's a Two of Wands, but this person's holding on to one wand. It's made a choice. And there's an atlas here, there's a world. So this is to do with a worldly event, something to do with you and the world. And you're fine to leave this other choice behind now. So I think this is you deciding on something that's going to change a lot more. Wow, I cannot believe how many twos are here. We have another Two of Pentacles in reverse. Like definitely there's some sort of choice you want to make, and it's coming out with a Lover's card. Lover's card is a number 6 card, but I always see love, it's two people, like it's two again in the respect anyway. So yeah, definitely. Are you making this choice from your heart, or are you making this choice from your mind? Because that's going to determine which wand you're going to take, which action you're going to take next. And the indecisiveness might have something to do with abundance, and are you going to be okay as you move forward? Are you going to be looked after? I feel with the Lover's card in that, I think that you will be fine, but I just think that they're asking you to make a choice from your heart. Now, heart is always made a choice in the moment, every moment, the moment, the moment. The mind is the one that grabs from the past and then goes, oh my God, I can't do that again. I'll have to protect myself here, there, and everywhere. And then you put too many boundaries up, and then you can't allow the actual flow of the energy to be experienced. So just be aware of that. We don't want to be making our choices anymore from our mind. We want to be taking our mind into account, but then making our choices from our hearts as we move forward. Okay. Who else have I got here? I think Yen was next. I can't see past there. Sky. Yeah. And then Ane. Sky and then Ane. Sky. What cards can I pull out for Sky? And there's energies, please. Okay. Definitely have one. We have death. So something has been rebirthed for you. It's like you're trialing and erroring things at the moment, and that's okay to trial and error. Let the flow go. It's actually giving you. Oh, look at this. The sun. It's actually giving. This is giving you the freedom to change your mind and shift things if necessary as you go along, to be able to match up with a better vibration. So the vibrations are shifting quite fast at the moment, and it might be that you make a choice and then pull back, and then make a choice and then pull back, and that's okay. Sun is here. Yeah, it's definitely shifting you. Like literally the solar flares and all of that, making a big difference to your story, because you got further to move into a higher frequency than some others. There's a leadership quality that has been sparked within you. I'm finding that as well. And with more wisdom of who you really are authentically. Okay, and now we have Ane. Ane. Ane, that popped out really nicely and easily. We have the Knight of Cups. It is in reverse. Funny, a lot of them are in reverse. I'm wondering if I'm holding my cards in reverse. But Knight of Cups, I'm just feeling into the vibe anyway. Showing me the splash around the bottom of the horse's hooves, and like why are you showing me that? Something of like this just flowed out really nicely. So this horse to me is stepping very nicely into the next stages of his life. He's coming from his heart. You're starting to come from your heart. You're starting to I know I'm starting to be softer and gentler on myself and on the world and everything. I'm starting to, but you're still going to make the odd splash. That's still because it's resistance of two things coming together: the horse's hooves and the water. The water's at a different frequency than the horse's hooves. So even if you do know how to gently approach your life as you go along, you might still make, some people a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. But you're at least moving in a gentler way towards this next goal, and that's a good thing. Until you know how to fly, they said. And you can just skim as a flying horse across the water instead. That's interesting. Okay, so that's if we got here. Gosh. Yanaka. Yanaka, you got the Five of Wands come out on its side. There might be somebody that's pushing and pulling you. It's giving you, it came out on its side though. So maybe you're going to sidestep this environment now. You're knowing, or you're learning how to shift the story within, and so it sidesteps it. And even this cup was nearly on its side. The Six of Swords came out. So the Five of Wands is that, you know, you're picking up the other end of somebody else's drama, and so of course they're going to push and pull you. Maybe don't. Maybe it's time to just block it and go, I let it go. I don't have to tell the full story. I don't have to explain myself. I can just let it go, because this movement that they want to take you to, and if you're too busy on shore doing this, the pushing and the pulling with the dramas and the people around you or whatever, then you're never going to get into that ship, that boat, and travel to the next dimensional space that you want to really go into. So it is knowing when to drop the rope and allow them to fall onto their own mirror, figure it out themselves. Yeah, something there anyway. Okay, guys, it's 9 o'clock here. Been on for an hour. I think I'll leave it here. I love you guys so much. Don't forget, I do full-on one-on-one readings. They will go into every in-depth. Like, if you ever had a reading with me, it's pretty full-on. So yeah, the link is down below. I'm keeping my hour prices down at the moment, just to help out, because it's not that easy out there financially. So, and yeah, so look out for my new Coast to a New Reality videos coming up. If you're part of the AMAKEL school, I've got a new telepathic lesson coming through. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.